If you're trying to learn Portuguese, it doesn't matter if Portugal Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese. This is the most important exercise that you need to do. Ideally, you would be doing this every single day because this exercise will take you to fluency fast, very fast. It's fast, but it's not effortless. It's not easy. It's not the lazy way. None of that nonsense. You will have to work very hard for this, but it's worth it because you'll save a lot of time and you'll be fluent now instead of someday, right? Uh, with now, I mean in a month or in a matter of in a couple months, maybe the latest, if you work really hard with this. So, how does it work? Well, this is active recall. So the only thing you need to do is take the this list of sentences or a similar one with lots of sentences that contain all the vocabulary and grammar that you need for conversation. Ideally, your own sentences as well. You should do it with your language islands first. Your language islands are the most important exercises when it comes to the most important sentences when it comes to speaking. You should learn those first, but then you'll have to learn several thousand sentences that contain all the grammar and vocabulary for common like everyday conversations. I've got 15,000 sentences here, more than enough for everyday conversations. So for most conversations, really. So and now the only thing you need to do is have a bilingual text with English here or whatever your native language happens to be, and Portuguese here. And the only thing you need to do is translate into Portuguese. If it's still too difficult, you could read it once. Maybe you read 100 sentences, and you then go back and you try to translate those 100 sentences. But I recommend you start right away, and it'll be very difficult, insanely difficult in the beginning. But the more you do it, the easier it will get. And if you keep going, if you can overcome that initial resistance, because it's the tendency will be to procrastinate because it's really uncomfortable. It's not like watching videos and learning the lazy way, blah blah blah, which doesn't work, by the way, when it comes to speaking. Um, this will be very hard work, and you'll feel like quitting probably. Um, but if you keep going, after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you'll feel great because you'll notice that you're able to say way more than before. And if you keep going for an hour, uh, you probably will want to continue doing it for like another hour, maybe, because uh, you will notice that you've improved so much in just 1 hour, and that now you're able to say way more than an hour before. So results come very quickly with this as long as you do it the right way and you actually do it and you do it without cheating, without looking, and without you have to actually try to say everything in Portuguese before you look. Yeah, so it's very uncomfortable. uh, é muito desconfortável, discomfortable, and then you check and you say it correctly after looking at it. Again, pronunciation is very important in Portuguese, so you should be doing a lot of listening and a lot of shadowing as well, together with this exercise, so that you get the pronunciation right, more or less right, when you're doing this exercise. Do you play golf? Você joga golfe? Você joga golfe? It hinges on your decision. Okay, that's a new one. Depende de sua decisão. Da sua decisão. Eu conectarei com você agora. Vou, vou conectar com você agora. Onde posso pegar um táxi? Onde posso pegar um táxi? Não deixe que seja danejado. Danificado. Ok. Ela joga golfe. Yeah. Tenham umas férias fantásticas. Tenham umas férias fantásticas. Vamos compartilhar um táxi. Isso. Não, this one. Pouco. Isso parece um pouco exagerado. I was going Sometimes not 100% sure. I thought I was going to butcher it, but I had it 90% correct. Uh, it's better to actually say it, even if it's like all messed up, and then you get the answer. That was out of the ordinary. Isso foi extraordinário. Isso foi fora do comum. Okay. Gosto de golfe. Gosto de golfe. Uh, humming. Alguém está, alguém está cantarolando. O mar não se sente bem. O mar não está bem. Uh, Mostre-me a ruta. A rota. Você viu Nisha? You get the idea. And you keep doing this with hundreds of sentences a day. Try to keep pronunciation as close as possible to what you get from listening. Doing shadowing with these same sentences will be really helpful to improve pronunciation. But this is the main one because this teaches you to think in the language. You forming sentences and you having to think. I mean, there's no rush here, but you still you should try to do it as fast as possible because in real life, when you have to say something, you have to say it fast. Think of it, you have to think fast and then say it. You can't spend 10 seconds because the conversation moves on, right? So yeah, it helps you think faster in the language, form thinking complete sentences, use vocabulary that you wouldn't normally use because we tend to be very limited. We tend to use in a foreign language, we tend to use a very limited vocab, and expanding your active vocabulary is very important so you're able to express yourself much better and much more accurately. And also you just figuring out where you're making all your mistakes and you're quickly correcting them. Just make a mistake, get feedback, make another mistake, get feedback, another mistake, feedback. That's the best way to get rid of the mistakes quickly, according to science. So this exercise, if you do it with several hundred sentences per day, thousands a week, it will improve your speaking like very quickly, really, really quickly. If you do 10,000 sentences of this, I just did well, like 15. You can do 10,000 in a week, or maybe that's a little bit ambitious. Maybe in a couple of weeks, your speaking will get so much better just by doing this, right? So, yeah. Anyway, see you later.